just passed the phone to you for this article. All right, Shalom. We the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, underneath Commander General Yohana. We are not affiliated or associated with any other Israelite group. Tonight is Tuesday. This is the Brotherhood scripture class. And here in South Carolina, man, we're going to go into some heavy topics, man. So like, you know, we right here, right now, man, we in the last days right now in this kingdom, in this empire right now. You know, everything that you're seeing on the news and TV, with everything is starting to show you that this empire is starting to fall. But when this empire is starting to fall, this also comes a time for us as Black, Hispanics, and Native Indians who make up the 12 tribes of Israel to come together and lift each other up, man, so we can become a great nation again in this earth.
Right.
That's one thing that we lack right now amongst each other, is brotherhood and sisterhood inside of our communities. And we come from a point now in time now where everybody's always talking about each other. You know, we always fighting amongst each other. You know what I'm saying? We always doing harm to each other rather than come together to stand against our enemy.
Right.
And when we say stand against our enemy, we're not talking about pick up firearms or go raid the Capitol or any stupidity like that. We just simply mean us coming back together and serving the Most High God of Israel. That's what we should do, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see something so like that. Yeah, I got something. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go into something very heavy tonight, man. We're going to go into what can we do when it comes to building each other up as a nation of people, man. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we need dearly amongst the Black, Latino, and Native Indian community. We need to be building each other up. And that's what the ISUPK underneath Commander General Yohana is teaching our people. You know what I'm saying? We're not with the gossip when it comes to anything. Like if we have an alt with our brother, you do exactly what the scripture says. You go to your brother and you go to him alone and you talk to him. You don't go around gossiping about him or talking about him behind his back. You go to your brother and you talk to him just you two alone if you have an altercation with him. You know what I'm saying? That's something that we lack inside our community. Rather than us talking to each other like men, pulling each other to the side and talking about, you know, if we have a situation with a brother or a problem with him, we pick up firearms and begin to shoot at each other. You know, rather than talking to a sister or sisters talking to each other, trying to, you know, handle the situations, they just fight each other, do all type of things, stab each other.
Right.
You know, some sisters go as far as to call DSS on each other to get each other's children taken. Like I know plenty of situations. That's something that's very horrible amongst the Black community, amongst the so-called Judite community. Sisters that get mad at each other and to really strike a blow at a sister, they'll call Child Protective Services on the sister and get her children taken. Like I can't name the numerous amount of times I've seen that happen, where sisters out of anger and jealousy would call Child Protective Custody or services on each other just to get each other kids taken.
Right.
Horrible thing, man. But that's what happens when we lack brotherhood and sisterhood. That's why the ISUPK is teaching our people how to lift each other up, man. How to build each other, man. You know what I'm saying? We already been tore down enough, so now it's the point in time where we got to build ourselves up, man. And how do we do that? By using these scriptures. Y'all got any sword? Y'all tore any sword or anything?
Oh, come on. I got one, sir.
Yeah, we could. I'm going to go to Romans chapter 14, verse 19. We're going to start out there, man, because that's the problem that we have in our community. Rather than building each other up, we tear each other down, man. We tear each other down. You know what I'm saying? Like, And it's very horrible to see amongst our community, amongst our people. You know, we do it amongst the nation of Israel. We do it as a whole. It ain't just the black community. It's also the 10 tribes, which are the Latinos, the Native Indians, the people in Central and South America. You go to Trinidad and Tobago, the book of Romans chapter 14, verse 19. You go to Trinidad and Tobago, it's the same thing. We're not building each other up, we're destroying each other. That's why this truth is so delicate, man. That's why it's so important for us to hold on to it and continue to stay one West, man.
Right.
Like, we're gonna build our nation up with the brotherhood and sisterhood that we have here. Why do you think people gravitate to this school? They gravitate to it because they see the brotherhood and sisterhood we have amongst each other, and they just want to be a part of it. And it takes a lot to keep this brotherhood and sisterhood strong. Like, they can't be no outside garbage or trash
Right.
allowed to come inside here and take that away from us. Because if you look around, you see that all over the place. You got so-called gangs out here that's supposed to be protecting the neighborhood, but when you look and get deep inside the gangs, it's so much conflict inside the gangs, it's ridiculous.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They got fighting amongst each other, they sleeping with each other's women, you know, they talking about each other, they fighting amongst each other, they robbing each other in the gangs.
Right.
You go inside the Christian church where the people are supposed to be the men and women of God, and what goes on in there? Gossip, fighting, adultery, same thing. There's nothing righteous out here but this truth, man. It's nothing righteous but the ISUPK and the Commander General Yohana, man.
Right.
That's it. All that other stuff is trash. It's only one truth. You can read it when you get it out.
Romans 14 and 19. Let us therefore follow after these things, which make for peace.
What makes peace? What can we follow which makes peace? Anybody can answer the question. We got anybody in the checks also?
Just the brother Nolly J. Drake, he checked in,
Okay.
and that's it.
Okay.
Somebody said, because I Squad just checked in too.
Okay. What's on? Okay. Okay, you got.
Kind of things that make peace, you know, following after the Lord.
That's it. That's exactly what you get. You get peace from following out the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's how we get peace. You wonder why the black community, the Latino community, and the Native Indian community is in turmoil right now, because nobody is keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. There's no peace. You think it's peace amongst the Bloods and Crips? Why it ain't peace? Because nobody's keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High.
Right.
There'll never be peace if you're not keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. First off, you don't even know how to be a righteous brother and sister amongst each other. That's why you have so much conflict. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day, a lot of us who come from a so-called gang banging lifestyle, you seen the bull crap that was inside of it. Even amongst drug dealers, you got so-called drug dealers who got their own little posse, their own little set that they got. You see it amongst them there. I know drug dealers who had the one person that would give them everything, a lot of dope. He would give them whatever they wanted. He'd give them whatever they wanted. A lot of dope, a lot of whatever. He'll give it to them, let them get it and make their money. Then he would turn around and send somebody to come and rob them, and then they got to still pay him the money back. And he acted like your best friend. Like, you wouldn't even think he would have did it, because he was such a cool guy. When you talk to him, you're like, he wouldn't do me like that. But that's what goes on. There's no law, statutes, and commandments there. There's no honor amongst thieves.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't love the Most High. You're not following the Most High if you're selling drugs to your people. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get peace if you're selling drugs to your people. You're not going to get peace if you're prostituting out the Most High's daughters, man. You're not going to get peace if you're molesting the Most High's children out here, robbing them of their money. You're never going to get peace. And that's why we do not see any peace in the Black, Latino, and Native Indian community. You wonder why. This is the reason why. Because nobody is following after the things which make peace. What makes peace is following after the Most High. Why do you think in here we have peace? You might get into a little argument with your rib and everything, but guess what? You will get peace with your rib as long as y'all are keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High.
Right.
You might have a situation where you and the brother might disagree about something, but guess what? You're gonna have peace because you're gonna keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. You know how to deal with a brother or with a sister according to the laws.
Right.
That's why in here you don't see us like so-called fake Israelite groups with the drama, the bull crap. You turn on, we was watching something yesterday, you just seen all these different Israelite groups coming at each other. Like they gotta have a summit with each other, an Israelite summit where all these different camps come together. And the last time they had the summit, they got into a fight at the summit. One time they had one, they got into a fight. Because they're not keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. They're just doing what they feel, what makes them feel comfortable. I got an Israelite group, you got an Israelite group, we got our own Israelite group. And the scriptures tell you that's not how it's supposed to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The scripture says, can two walk together? So like I'm just paraphrasing, can two walk together? Unless they be like the same mind. I'm just paraphrasing, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, let me get that scripture for you. I got it right here. Yeah, that is right. Amos 33. Yeah, you can do it.
Amos 3:3. Can two walk together?
Can what?
Can two walk together
Can two walk together? Go ahead.
except they be agreed?
Because except they be agreed. And that's the problem, man. You know what I'm saying? The only way two can walk together unless they agree. And that's what we have now going on in a lot of our communities. You think the Bloods and Crips agree with each other? You think the Bloods amongst themselves agree with each other? The Crips? Everybody has their own mind when it comes to being in these different organizations. But here in the ISUPK, we don't think like that. We walk together because we all agree with the same thing. You don't hear me saying something different than what I've been taught. I'm not going to come with something that I just made up like, well, you know what, this is what I believe in. No, it's not going to work. We can't walk together if we don't agree. That was it on it up.
Oh, verse 3, kind of come.
Kind of read that again from the top if you can, Barbara Shaw.
Kind of come. Amos 3:3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
You know what I'm saying? Can two walk together unless they both agree, man? You gotta come to an agreement, and that's what we need to have in the ISUPK. That's what we have here in the ISUPK. We come to an agreement, and we're trying to teach our people to come to an agreement with each other.
Right.
Y'all have to come to an agreement and realize something. The things that you're doing are not working. Selling dope to your people isn't working. How do we know? Because you end up in jail or you end up dead. Prostituting our women is not working. We got to come to an agreement and realize these things are not working. The Christian church is not working.
Right.
We have to come to an agreement and realize it's not working. The only way we're going to be able to fix the problem is if we come to an agreement and come with a solution. And the solution is going to have to be way different than what's going on right now. We tried the church, we tried to do the Black Panther Party movement. Yeah, they got a new Black Panther Party movement, and it's a woman who runs the whole thing.
Good night.
And she's right out of the upstate. I see her. She's sitting in one of those old 70s chairs with the little holes in it. She's sitting there with the gun just like up on the house. I'm like, sis, this is warfare. This is nothing to play with. When me, Officer Natazai, myself, and Officer Mardaki, when we went down there to the, they got a location down here where they got a hot dog spot where it was the owner of the hot dog spot was saying racist things, and everybody found out. So everybody went there and tried to protest the place. So while we out there, you know, you had the so-called strong sisters who, you know, got certain organizations, because one thing they don't realize is, of course, Esau is going to give them more to push their organization because it's ran by women. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's ran by women, so of course they're going to give you more. So the sister came out there with the kids, herself, and a devil came through the parking lot in a Jeep, driving fast, almost ran people over. And she said, this is the scariest I've ever been in a long time in my life. And only thing I could do is just look at them like, sis, what are you doing? This is warfare. This is nothing to play with. Like, y'all came out here protesting, and you think everybody's gonna be cool with that? y'all blocking the entrance on this man's business. You think you don't think nobody will pull in and run y'all over? Do you think the school would tell us to block the entrance of an organization and protest that organization? No, because we're gonna put our lives in danger for something that's stupid. It's a business. The only thing you gotta do is not go to the business.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with protesting. Protest. There's nothing wrong with that. If you don't want to support the business, don't support it. But that same business, they came out of protest, and guess what I seen when I rode by? I still seen black people eating a man's hot dog.
Wow.
And his hamburgers. I'm like, damn, this is why nothing will work, because none of us have came to an agreement with each other that we have to find a better solution. We're looking at everything else, but what will really help us fix the problem is the Bible. The main thing that'll help us fix our problem, everybody's running away from. The Bible will help you fix your problem.
Right.
And we have to come to an agreement that we have to have righteous leaders. Your Christian pastor, I'm gonna bring out tonight about your so-called Christian leaders, your reverends and your deacons and all these different people. You're gonna start to learn something. You're gonna have to come in agreement and realize that these people will just rob you. They don't want the best for you, man. And as ISUPK, we want the best for you. Why do you think we go on the street corner? Why do you think we battle with you? We argue with you. We stay up late nights on the phone having conversations with brothers and sisters. Because we want what's best. We want you to succeed. We want you to live. We want you to come back and serve the Most High. We're tired of seeing our people being murdered in these streets. We're tired of seeing brothers and sisters being incarcerated. You got it, Shayla.
Nolly Dre said, how come those other groups don't join the ISUPK, sir?
The reason they won't join is because of their pride. Like the scripture says, what does it say? Before pride comes destruction. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these fake organizations, these fake Israelite groups, they don't want to take commandments. And even with them, like the scripture says, how can two walk together unless they come to an agreement? They haven't came to an agreement that the ISUPK is the home of the truth.
Right.
Even though they know the ISUPK has been around since 1969. You got all these fake Israelite groups that might have started when? 2014, 2015. Come on, this is 1969.
Right.
This is older than some of their mothers and fathers. And you mean to tell me that we're going to listen to who? Somebody who's, what, 4 years in the game, 3 years in the game, 10 years in the game? And majority of all of them came from the ISUPK.
Right.
Everybody that, all these so-called organizations, a lot of them studied from the ISUPK. And then when they joined another, and when they started another Israelite group, didn't like that, started another Israelite group. The person that was in there didn't like what they were being taught, so they started an Israelite group. So now you all have all these different, various organizations who call themselves the truth, but really they're just a bunch of lies, man.
Right.
Just a bunch of lies. That's the only reason you have all these fake Israelite groups out here. Because we don't agree with them, and they don't agree with us. Because we know this is the truth. Why do you think it's been here for so long? Why do you think you starting to see all these fake Israelite groups fail? Just because you have numbers don't mean anything in the eyes of the Most High.
Right.
The Most High has always dealt with a small portion to uplift his people. You got that?
And it's crazy that you said that numbers don't mean nothing to, saying the Most High, because nowadays people say numbers don't lie. And when you really look at it, numbers do lie.
Right. You can have a whole lot of people in there, but look at all them, like who? They ain't gonna call their name. They're not even worthy, but it's a so-called organization, fake Israelite group. They got up in the streets of Memphis, if I'm not mistaken, and it was a ton of them. I'm talking about, it looked good. It was all in single form and fashion. They got their purple on, gay colors, just like it. They got their purple on, and when you seen it from the outside, it looked powerful.
Right.
They marching down the street. They did this and did that, but I was like, what did they do when they did that? What was they supposed to do?
Right.
Who's they supposed to strike fear in the hearts of? Nobody. Where they at right now? I think they did that once and that was it. But you take some hardcore brothers from the ISUPK, we will battle anybody. You had something to say, Shal? Go ahead, you got it up.
Okay, you said where are they now? Last time I checked, they was twerking on stage.
Ooh, that is a fact. I mean, I'm just saying, he did get up and imitate what twerking was like. I'm gonna imitate anything twerking. I'm a man. I don't understand why a man would want to imitate twerking unless maybe you like to twerk. I'm just saying. Paul, you got it out.
In Officer Kazak Shapar, he said Proverbs 16 and 18, those fates falls.
That's right. You can get that scripture. What it was, Proverbs 16 to 18.
Okay. Gotcha.
I'm just saying, man, like, listen, that's something that we don't agree with. We don't agree with no man imitating what twerking is like.
Right.
You won't see that in here.
Where we live, sir.
Come on, you got it out.
Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction.
Pride go what?
Before destruction.
Pride go before destruction. You know what I'm saying? You proud, you puffed up, and guess what happens? Destruction. That's what you're going to see with a lot of these fake Israelite groups. The Most High is going to destroy them, not in the sense of killing them or anything, but he's going to wipe that stuff out of here.
Right.
Why do you think a lot of these fake Israelite groups, you don't even hear nothing about them anymore? You know, I know a fake Israelite group. I thought they was a particular Israelite group, you know, who might believe in rapists, but then I come to find out they not even dead. They just listen to them. I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, so wait a minute. I said, so you were part of a group who left the ISUPK, who started their own thing, who teach rape. So y'all didn't join them, so you started your own thing. Why should anybody listen to you? And why should anybody listen to anything y'all have to say when y'all just something that broke off and did your own thing?
Right.
Y'all a break off of a break off. And guess what's gonna happen when y'all get tired of each other? Somebody gonna break off from y'all and start their own thing. Then they gonna get tired of that. They gonna break off and start something else. That's why the ISUPK, I need Commander Johnny Hunter, is the truth.
Right.
You're not gonna break off and start another ISUPK. It's only one West. You're not gonna break off and start your own thing. You're gonna break off and get kicked out.
Right.
Plain and simple. You don't have to be here. But in here, we all come into one agreement with each other. We walk with each other. We'll die for each other. We'll fight for each other. And not only for each other, but for our people as well. But we all have to be in one agreement. You can go ahead out.
Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall.
Right. And right. A haughty spirit. Holding out to everything. That's what a lot of these organizations do. They hold out to everything. They want the money. They want the glorious, colorful garments with the, Viking color garments. They love that color. They want to be seen by everybody. And the UPK, man, look, man, we'll take 5 brothers and go on a street corner in the middle of any major city and battle.
Right.
And battle. Anybody. Go to war with anybody in the middle. Look, man, we done been to war with police officers. And when we say war, we ain't talking about physical combat. We talking about spiritual combat. We'll go to war with anybody. We'll crush anybody. We don't got into it with Black Panthers, parties, everything. Man, you name it. You name it. We don't did it. And it's glorious, man. Salaki, you go back to Romans 14 and 19 again now, if you can, Bible say.
Come. Romans 14 and 19. Let us therefore follow after the things which make for peace, and things wherewith one may edify another.
Right, damn right. And that's what the scripture said. It says the things wherewith one may edify another. You know what I'm saying? That's what we got to do. We got to follow the things that give us peace, which is the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And the things whereof may edify another. And we have to do that with each other. We got to edify our brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? You teaching them. You teaching them what's going to bring them peace in their life. If you got somebody who's a drug addict, who can't pay their bills, they always behind on their bills, they can't survive, they in bad situations, and you tell them, listen, I'm going to tell you what's going to bring you peace to your life. And you teaching the law, statutes, and commandments, you edify them. You edify one another. Guess what? If they listen, it's going to bring peace in their life.
Right.
Why do you think we flooded in here? You don't think all of us were at one point in time in my life on drugs, selling drugs, prostitution, buying prostitutes, whoring. We were doing all that until we came in here and somebody edified us, man. And we began to edify one another, man. We started to do that amongst ourselves. We started teaching each other what can bring us peace in our life.
Right.
Even though we're in here, there's something that can bring peace into your life, man. And that's keeping laws, statutes, and commandments, man. It's peace in your life when you ain't got to worry about getting cancer because you don't smoke cigarettes. It brings peace into your life when you ain't got to worry about somebody kicking your door because you sell drugs. Or the police raiding your house because you sell drugs.
Right.
Or somebody robbing you as soon as you step out your door because you sell drugs. Sisters ain't got to worry about a man trying to murder and kill them because she understands that sex is marriage and she deserves and she needs to have a righteous man. It'll bring peace into her life. And a lot of people who have problems in their life, it's because they do not want peace into their lives, man.
Right.
They like the problems. They like the headaches. They don't want to fight. They don't want to do the things that will bring peace into their life, man. And they damn sure don't want nobody trying to edify them on what can help them. That is the worst thing, is trying to talk to somebody and you're trying to teach them what can help them in their life, and just to have somebody be like, I ain't listening to that. And then they come right back to you when they back in the problem again. You like, yo, get out of here. I don't want to hear anything you have to say.
Right.
I'm trying to edify you on what can help you in your life. When I tell you, you don't want to hear it. When you go through problems, now you want me to be here to help. It doesn't work like that. What we got to do in the ISUPK, what we got to do right here in the nation of Israel, excuse me, so like, what we got to do here in the ISUPK, man, not the ISUPK, what we got to do in the nation of Israel is start to listen to these priests and prophets here in the ISUPK. Don't be so quick to turn your back on us because you might not believe in the truth. Because that's what it is. It's not that you don't believe in what we teach. You don't believe in the truth. You got sisters out here now, oh, well, they teaching a man can have more than one wife. Well, listen, sis, that's the truth.
Right.
That's in the scriptures. The Most High didn't change any of his commandments. If the scripture said a man can have more than one wife, guess what? He can have more than one wife. You're battling the truth. You're not battling this, you're battling the truth. And that's why we have a lot of situations with people who don't agree with it. We're up here trying to uplift our people, and you're too busy trying to tear us down.
Right.
Girl, don't listen to him. He's saying a man can have more than one wife. And this sister might have a good family. She might have a good household with her husband. Just because you don't believe he can have more than one wife, you're going to intervene and tear her household down? You might have a brother who might have a good family scripture. He listened to the ISUPK, the truth. You might get in, oh brother, you don't need to listen to them camp doctrines. You bring him out and help him destroy his house. Next thing you know, he bad listening to everybody. They teach you to smoke weed. They teach weed is from the earth. Now this brother is doing everything to bring himself down because a lot of these fake Israelite groups, man, and these Christian pastors, they're not trying to uplift nobody, man.
Right.
They're trying to tear down the nation of Israel, man. That's why you see so much commotion amongst these fake Israelite groups. And that's what our ISUPK, we always say we are not affiliated or associated with any other Israelite group.
Right.
Because now we're at a point in time where everybody's starting to find the truth. The truth is spreading like a wildfire. Everybody's starting to know that the Israelites, I seen a brother that I couldn't even believe he had on the shit. Like, this brother does podcasts. He's very popular, very rich. But he had on the, what that is, the way Issachar wears. It looks like a garment. Issachar wears it a lot. I can't think of the name. I just had it in my, I got it in my head, but I can't think of it. A poncho. He had a poncho, but they had an Issachar sister on the front. It had the fringes, and then right here he had the shield of David. I was like, damn. I was like, well, that thing fire. I was trying to buy it. I was like, well, how this brother, even him, like, with him being a millionaire, he knows. Because the truth is spreading like a wildfire right now. But a lot of our people don't want to be edified. Everybody wants to do their own thing. Oh, nah, brother, I know the truth. You don't know nothing.
Right.
Sister Hope, nah, brother, I know the truth. Like I tell you, I still can't believe what I heard from the sister that called to get counseling. Like it just, my mind just blew up when I heard it because I couldn't even believe. I was like, where are you learning this from? I was like, who's teaching you this stupidity? Like whoever's teaching you this isn't edifying you. They're destroying you. Like they're tearing you down. They're not trying to teach you how to uplift your household, to listen to a man. Like it's a sad thing, man. So like the next, I'm gonna get Hebrews 3:13. And it's so important for us to be here for one another, man. One thing that nobody likes to talk about, but we will talk about here in the ISUPK, is the suicide rate amongst our people. If you could, guys, I'm gonna give you this right here so you can read this for me. Hebrews 3:13.
On the first death?
The whole, what it says at the top, what it reads at the top.
Mental and behavior.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
This is an article called "Mental and Behavior Health of So-Called African Americans."
Right, so this is an article on the mental health of so-called African Americans. And see, this is something else that nobody likes to talk about. Your church doesn't talk about this. People coming to church on Sundays, and your Christian pastor will give you a sermon, he'll give you a concert, he'll give you that stinking piece of bread you put in your mouth, and it feels good. But they're not tackling the issues that plague the Black, Latino, and Native Indian community.
Right.
They're not talking about the mental health issues that our people suffer from. Because one thing they don't talk about is PTSD can be passed down through generation, through generation, through generation. Why do you think some kids jump in the womb? Like somebody gets arguing, the baby just jump automatically while the baby's in the stomach. Because that is something that has been passed down from generation to generation to generation. PTSD, they found out that it can be passed down from generation to generation. And we still suffer from that now. You know, you think about you being on the street corner and you see your friend get shot. You don't think that's going to cause PTSD?
Right.
Imagine you riding in the car and the police pull you over and draw guns on you. You don't think that's going to cause PTSD? Imagine you being a sister and having to fight for your life so somebody doesn't try to rape you. You don't think that's going to cause PTSD? These small children growing up in households where they have to see violence, it causes PTSD. And PTSD causes mental health issues. Along with somebody being raped or molested, it causes PTSD. It causes mental health issues. It's like, and that plagues the Black community, man, and the Latino community. It's a place in Mexico, man, where the girls get raped. That like it's sad, man. It's like right there in Central South America by Mexico, where it is notorious for young girls to get raped. It's notorious for young Issachar girls to get raped. It's notorious for young 10 tribe girls to get raped. Like I listened to the brother talk. I looked at the story when they covered it. They covered the story, and it was a brother, man, and it broke my heart. It brought me to tears listening to this brother, to see him cry and the pain that he was in, to talk about his daughter who had got raped, man, who had got raped, and they just threw her body on the side of the road. And he talked about how they went looking for his daughter, and he found his daughter on the side of the road, raped, man, and dead. Like, imagine what that does to a father, man. Like, it broke him. As soon as he started to talk about it, it broke him. You heard his voice cracking. You seen the tears in his eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, the type of emotion that he had, like what it did to him, it destroyed him. And these are the mental health issues that nobody talks about, man. Even your so-called Latino pastors, they're not talking about this. They not in the churches talking about this. They got you serving Roman Catholicism. Your Christian pastors in the Black churches, they not talking about this. What they tell you, if what they say, how they say it, won't he do it? And then everybody busts out all the time. What about the mental health issues? What about the sisters that are sitting inside the churches that have been raped, that have been molested?
Right.
Who's asking them, are they okay? Who's talking to them about that? Who's saying, hey, you know what, we got counseling for sisters after this? And half of the people that come into church won't even talk to these people in these Christian churches because they already know once they talk about the issue to them, the whole church gonna know about it.
Right.
The whole church gonna know about it. Then what? Who can you trust? You just come to church to get a slight good feel. Then when you go back in the world, now you back dealing with your problems. That's why this truth. You gotta get this truth in hand, man. What Commander General you're in hand, man. The generals and the captains and the officers and the brothers and sisters, man. Because Commander General Yohana held on to this truth, man. And with him holding on to the truth, he saved a lot of our lives, man. Now we have a safe haven to where we can call and get counsel. You can call and get counsel when you feel like you got a situation going on that you can't handle. You can
Right.
call and get counsel. That counsel will save your life.
Right.
You can call and get counsel. And these are the things that we need to build our nation up, man. Not trying to tear it down by gossiping about somebody. Like, I used to couldn't stand the church as a young child because I started to see, when I got to a certain age as a teenager, I could start to see how they treated poor people inside the churches. And I didn't like it. I seen how after church, those who had money would go out to eat with pastor, and those who didn't have money would have to go to the little food bank that they got in the back and get pies and get bread
Right.
and get beans and rice. And it bothered me. I said, Mom, why you giving these people your money? Like, and you know, her being in the world, she was like, son, you know, this is what we got to do to serve God. And I stayed away from the church after that. I didn't go to church after that. I was like, I'm not going to no crap like that. You mean to tell me these bastards going out to eat at the good restaurants after church, and everybody else who ain't got the money to go out to eat, got to go to the back and get food out the little pantry they got back there? You Christian pastors, man, you disgust me, man.
Damn right.
Like, if it wasn't for the UPK, I would spit in your face, man. Thank the Most High for the UPK because y'all are truly disgusting. If I was who I used to be, that old man who has died, that's all I'm going to say. I'm a better person.
Right.
Because I'd probably be at your house. Won't he do it? Yes, he will. You get that, Pastor. That's a nice watch. And it's so disgusting because right here where we at right now, it's a pastor I know right now. This dude has a gold Porsche Panamera. I am not lying to you. I'm going to take you out one Sunday, after I get away from Hebrew Academy, of course, but I'm going to take you one Sunday morning and I'm going to let y'all see his gold Porsche Panamera. It is disgusting. Let me tell you how disgusting it is because his church, the church, you can see it from the highway. And he literally, every Sunday, he parks the church in the back by the bottom of the church where everybody that passes the highway, you're going to see his car. You're going to see it.
Dang.
Because when you pass by, you're like, damn, it's a nice-ass car. It's a gold Porsche Panamera. And I was just like, this disgusting bastard. Church is nice. It's beautiful. But it's closed 6 days of the week. But on Sunday, them doors is open. Like any good business, you know when the good time to open the business. It's like a restaurant. You know what days to open the restaurant to make your money. Just like your church. They know what days to open it up to make their money. Y'all still ain't peak game though. You don't think these churches pimping you. These churches are pimping you, man. You got that scripture up?
Oh, come on, concert. Hebrews 3:13. But exhort.
But what?
Exhort.
That means encourage strongly. Encourage strongly. Go ahead.
But exhort one another daily.
Do what?
Exhort one another daily.
And that's what we got to do. We got to encourage each other strongly daily. You wake up, hey, bro, we gonna get through this, man. You know, you push my thumb, but we got it. We gonna make it through this, man. Come on, we gotta keep pushing. We're gonna make it through, man. This empire is almost done. You gotta do this daily.
Right.
Daily. Do your Christian pastors do that daily? What'd you say, Kaz? Hell nah, they don't do it. He do it Sunday. But when you get out of that Sunday, you go to work Monday. Guess what? You back at it again, y'all. We in the UPK, we right there with you. Hey, bro, we gonna get through this, bro. Come on,
Right.
now. Come on now. Let's get this thing going. What's going on with you? What's wrong? What's happening? What's going on? Come on, come talk to me. Holler. That's what you're supposed to do. I knew a Christian pastor. Coming into the truth, man, when I became an officer, I began to cut him every chance I got. Because he would love to say, I ain't got to work. My church will take care of me. Dang. And I used to look at it, I was like, they need to take care of their headline because that thing's fading away. And, you know, me and him got into discussions and he just began to get cut. And I started to realize that everything that I learned in this school is the truth. Like, these pastors, they not encouraging anybody. Like, he didn't talk to nobody. Like, we at the slavery. The boss is the slave master is a a-hole. He's horrible. Like, this bastard had a card. We found out he had a card which was supposed to be used to, you know, to provide for the staff. Like, you could buy the staff food. You know, you could do certain things. Once out of the month, they let him go do certain things for the people at the job. And they gave him a limit. The limit might be $500. It might be $300. It might be $400. This bastard, what this bastard would start to do, this is why we say the oppressor is the devil the Bible speaks of. This bastard would see who would do the best every month out of all of us. And whoever did the best, he would take that one person out to eat.
Wow.
He would take that one person out to eat and then keep everything else for himself. And started to take his family to all of the great places, to the good restaurants, to the nice all you can eat buffet. You got it, a shot, y'all.
And one thing they like to say, oh, I got me a bonus. That's what they love to say.
And you know what? He said it. He was so big on trying to make sure that he got the bonus. That's why he started to do everything he did. He started making the slavery become a competition amongst each other. Rather than us working together, it became a competition. We were literally trying to outwork each other just so we could get a damn meal.
Right.
And a $20 gift card on the so-called oppressors' holidays. But me, myself, I came to the truth. I didn't care. I started to work out in the time of slavery.
Right.
I started to work out, shoot basketball, because I ain't gonna front, this is probably one of the best slavers I ever had, because they put a basketball goal inside the slavery, and he did that. And when the people came, I don't know if they still got it. I might ride up there this weekend to see if they still got it. I might go shoot a game of 21 or something. So y'all still shooting ball there? But he put a basketball goal in there, like, he loved the job.
Right.
Because he didn't have to do anything. He sat behind the desk, listened to rock music, watch Sports Center. I'm talking about, I would see him doing this. And the job wasn't hard for us. It was all right. You didn't make a lot of money and everything, but it was just amazing to see how this oppressor would make us come against each other. And the pastor that was there that worked with us wouldn't say a damn thing. Wouldn't try to uplift nobody. Wouldn't say anything. Didn't give no type of words of encouragement. Only thing he would say is, I ain't got to work. My church will take care of me. I was just like, this wicked bastard, man. This bastard don't care about nobody else. And the crazy thing about it was he had a brother-in-law that worked with us too. And the brother was like, man, that nigga ain't doing it. All the time. He's like, man, don't let him fool y'all. That nigga drunk. I'm like, nah, brother, he ain't got to tell me none of that.
Wow. That's crazy.
But it just goes to show you that these pastors ain't uplifting nobody, man. They uplift you one day out of the week. Every Sunday. Every Sunday. It sound good. I seen TD Snakes? I seen him doing a sermon. Is it called a sermon or a Sherman?
I thought sermon.
Sherman, whatever they call it. He was doing one, and everybody was going crazy in the crowd. It was like, I ain't never met a man who could say what he says and do what he do. He just uplift everybody. Like, he's getting paid.
Right.
He ain't gonna tell you the truth. When Ahmaud Arbery got killed, I didn't see him say anything about that.
Right.
Did he say anything about that? Michael Brown got killed. Did he say anything about that? Tamir Rice, Sandra Bland, list goes on. Did any of your mega church black pastor leaders say anything? John Gray tried to say something, but he got shut down too. Because everybody had to remember, John Gray, didn't you go sit at the table with Donald Trump?
Good night.
That's not uplifting. That's not uplifting when I look on the internet and I see my pastor, who's black, sitting at the table with the same devil who said we should do him like we do him in the old days. He was talking about the brother who got elbowed by the devil. He said, I wish it was like the old days. What happened in the old days? And your Christian leader gonna go sit down and talk to Donald Trump like that's gonna help us? Come on, man. You started from the top again up.
Okay. Hebrews 3:13. But exhort one another daily, while it is called today.
While it is what?
Called today.
While it is called today, you do this daily. Today you should be doing it. When tomorrow come around, you need to do it. Every day you should be doing this.
That's right.
You should be encouraging each other, man. That's what we do here in the ISUPK, man. I can call any one of my brothers on the phone. They going, hey, Shalom, y'all what's going on? Knock you out? What's going on? Everything all right? You straight? You good? You need to hear that. You got it.
It's like, if I could, sir, now I can see why Christ stood up amongst the congregation and said, this is my mother, this is my brother. For the simple fact that you got wives out in the world, you got wives, you got mama and daddy, and they still can't stand for you. But when you look in the scripture, y'all complete strangers to me. But I know y'all brothers like y'all was my blood brothers just
right.
through Christ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, that was pretty much it, sir.
Nah, you right. And that's what Christ said. That Christ said, who is my mother? Who is my father? Those who labor amongst me. You know, those the people that he labels among. You know what I'm saying? Because he understood something. Even your family, like it says, what does it say? It says paraphrase, the foes of their own and be of your own household.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Your own household be the same ones that'll drag you down because they don't believe in the truth. They don't believe in that. Your family don't even believe in the truth. You argue with them non-stop. So you, hey, nah, we gotta do this, mom, we gotta do this, pop. Oh man, I know everybody had that debate when it comes to that poke.
All right.
Nah, man, I ain't eating poke. What? You ain't eating poke? Oh, she's like, you've been raised on poke your whole life, baby. Go on in there and eat them fried pork chops. Look at that fried pork chop if you want to. Eyes gonna be bloodshot, headache. Baby, you alright? Come on, son, in that pork chop. Yeah. Diabetes and high blood pressure. That's what's in that.
You put her foot in it.
She literally. The foot gonna get cut off. And it's sad because I seen the sister, man. I seen the sister, man, like her arm was amputated. I don't think she had left with this. It was amputated. But she still was eating pork chop. Yeah, the all you can eat buffet. I was like, damn, what are you doing? I remember one brother, older brother, he told me, who was sitting there, man, he was like, let me go ahead and take my high blood pressure pills. I was like, why? He was like, I'm gonna eat this pork, it make my blood pressure high. I was like, what? I was like, you know it can kill you. Rather than not eat it, you just go, where is it? Where? He gonna put the pork chop right here. He gonna put the bacon in the middle and then slap another piece of pork chop on it and eat it. Come on, man. Let me take my high blood pressure pills. I was like, God damn. I mean, this could kill you. You still gonna eat it? But that's Israel. So you can read that article too, Art, if you could.
Cut on cut. In 2019, suicide was the second leading cause of death for blacks or African Americans.
Read that again, Art.
In 2019, suicide was the second leading cause of death.
It was the what?
The second leading cause of death.
This was the second leading cause of death amongst the black community. Go ahead.
For blacks or African Americans, ages 15 to 24.
Ages what?
15 to 24.
That's when you're young, man. And why is those ages so important, 15 to 24? Because when you're 15, you're getting that introduction to manhood,
Right.
or to womanhood. Nowadays, when do men and women usually, young teenagers usually lose their virginity?
Right.
Around the age of 14 or 15. So now you're getting that introduction to manhood, to womanhood at a young age, but nobody's teaching you correctly on how to be a man or how to be a woman. So imagine you 14 or 15, you start having sex. You start having sex, you start doing all these different and various things, and next thing you know, you fool around and you destroy your life, man. You fool around, a sister might sleep with this guy, that guy, she has a baby. This young brother might sleep with this woman, he turns around, he has a baby. Or you might get caught up in some type of street beef or drama. You get yourself in a situation where you don't kind of destroyed your life. And then you at this point now where you don't know how to get out of this situation. What's the easy way out? Kill yourself.
Right.
You know how many family members I got? Listen, how many cousins I got that killed themselves? I had one cousin to hang himself. No, I had one cousin to hang himself. I had a homeboy of mine hang himself, and I had two cousins to blow their brains out. That's just me. Two cousins to blow their brains out. And we was all young. We was all of us was in between these ages of 15 through 24. My partner, he killed himself. How old were we? 19? He hung himself from a tree. No, not from a tree. He hung himself in his grandma's house. 19. My other cousin, 23. 23 or 24. He hung himself from the ceiling fan at his house. My other cousin, 24. Shot himself in the head in his grandma's garage. My other cousin, 23. Sat on the front porch, blew his brains out on the front porch at his White House. Like, you know how many sisters and brothers that kill themselves, man, because they can't handle life? They can't handle the problems that we go, because a lot of our people suffer from mental health issues, man. Because nobody's there to help them and uplift them, man. Your Christian pastors have 30,000 people inside of their churches. 30,000 people inside of their churches. But who are they really talking to? Who are they really helping? It feel good when you in there every Sunday, but who's really sitting down with these 30,000 people asking them, what's going on with you? What happened in your life? You got molested? You got touched? What's going on? What's going on? Why you feel this way? Why you acting this way? They not doing that. They doing the molesting.
All right.
They doing the raping. They doing the robbing. Everything that you got to deal with outside of the walls in the church, they doing it inside the walls of the church. 30,000 people inside of these mega churches, and nobody's getting fixed. Hell, if they were getting fixed, we wouldn't have any problems now. We wouldn't have anybody on drugs. If they were truly fixing the problem in the Black, Latino, Native Indian community, we wouldn't have nobody on drugs, man. We wouldn't have sisters aborting their babies. We wouldn't have child molestation and rape and these different things going on in our community if these so-called pastors were fixing the problem, man.
Right.
These black politicians and these Latino politicians. If they were truly fixing the problem, we wouldn't even have any situations like this going on, man. We wouldn't have suicide amongst our people. This is Black History Month right here in February. This is so-called Black History Month in February, where we remember all the so-called black people who did amazing things. And I'm not knocking them. They did do amazing things. But why do we have to have an oppressor tell us when is it a good day, a good month to celebrate our people who did glorious things, man?
Right. We
should be uplifting each other daily. Like Hebrews 3:13 says. Read it again if you could, huh?
Hebrews 3:13. But exhort one another daily.
But what?
Exhort one another daily.
You ain't supposed to wait till the month of February to exhort each other, man. You're supposed to be doing this daily. We got a month, the shortest month of the whole year, February. The so-called oppressor gave us this. And you mean to tell me we gotta wait till this month to exhort each other? What else falls in February? What else falls in February? Anybody know? What's another thing that falls in February?
Valentine.
Valentine. That one time out the month where everybody goes out their way to exalt their woman or exalt their man.
Right.
On that one day when you're supposed to be doing this daily. Bring your woman flowers daily, man. If you got the money, get her some flowers every time you get a chance. Switch it up. Get her some flowers, take her out, buy her some shoes, son. Sister, that goes for you too. Don't bring me no damn flowers, though. I ain't taking no damn flowers. I ain't gonna set you.
And slightly, and by you saying that, that's heavy because now it's a simple fact that we have a month of February that's supposed to be for black folk, but then they also try to use this whole fake facade when it comes to love and romance on Valentine's Day to make it seem like love your woman. All reality, you know that one day ain't love, and is what you gonna be able to get out of her and what you gonna get out of him.
That's it.
So it's still gonna create hate in the same month we supposed to have love with each other.
That's it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
See, you see how you understand the confusion that goes on in this month? Like you said, this is the same month that we're supposed to be uplifting each other. We're supposed to be exhorting each other. But turn around, you don't get that. And then they kill. This is how they kill the game, right? They give you 13 days to get it right. 1st of February, it's Black History Month. It's Black History Month. Yeah, Black History Month. Let you not get her nothing on February 14th. F you, nigga. I thought it was Black History Month. Yeah, nigga, you history. That's it. You history. This relationship is done.
Damn.
All in Black History Month. Come on, man. Y'all just anybody outside of the truth is. So like I ain't gonna say it. I don't want to run nobody out, but you were not wise.
Doomed.
Yes, you are doomed. Anything outside of the ISUPK, you are doomed. Y'all don't get it. It's like hearing the truth. We get it. We understand it. It's like it's common sense. Like you see it, you like, damn. Why they put Valentine's Day in the same month as Black History Month?
Right.
Cause guess who celebrates Valentine's Day heavily? Black people. Ooh, especially you sisters out here. Sisters are bending over for a flower.
Man.
Tell me.
Man, get you a rose and a box of chocolates. Yikes. That's all I can say. That's you got it, guys.
So like it. But people don't realize, like, you know, with these holidays, all the stuff that's coming up now, and that we done seen before, just like Valentine's Day, I mean, it's the same stuff. I mean, even back then, our people from decades and generations, back in the ancient days, they doing the same. They playing with us just like they was back then.
Same thing.
Same thing.
They did, and get that brother a hand. He was right. It's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. They did the same thing to us in Rome.
Right.
When we was in Rome, guess what they was doing? Teaching us all of these pagan festivities, man. And you know, really, goddamn, you really want to know, Valentine's Day was something for two homosexuals.
Right.
So you celebrate Valentine's Day. You got it,
So like, sir, I don't mean to do this, but and it also was dealing with prostitution.
Listen, it's saying,
Right.
if you celebrate Valentine's Day this year, you are celebrating the homosexual prostitution day. Like, and I like to tell sisters, I was like, no, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day. Oh, you don't? Why you don't? You know the truth behind Valentine's Day? What about it? Oh, it was about two homosexual lovers. But these days, they embrace that. That'll make homosexuals get more into it.
It's crazy.
Like, I don't need nobody to tell me what day to uplift my woman. I'm gonna go to what the Bible says. I'm supposed to do this daily. I'm supposed to do this daily. I'm supposed to uplift my woman daily. She feeling down. Hey, baby, you got this. You got it. Stay strong. You got this. We're gonna push through this. We're gonna make it through. You know what I'm saying? Don't let this bring you down. That's daily.
Right.
That's how you build a nation. That's how you uplift each other, man. Not by allowing people to come to the church on Sundays and you out there sweating on the damn stage like you just ate a pork chop. You got that, they pour that stinking handkerchief. I bet that handkerchief stink. Pour that handkerchief. Ooh, oh, geez, every Sunday. It sound good. But when you leave out of that church, guess where you going back to? Back to the ghettos. Back to your what's them things called? Barrios, back to your shelters, back to your cardboard houses. Come on, man. These pastors ain't really uplifting anybody. They not uplifting anybody. And Kyle, you can go ahead and read the article if it's still on there.
The death rate from suicide for black or African American men was 4 times greater than for African American women.
Read that again.
The death rate from suicide for black African American men was 4 times greater.
It was what?
4 times greater.
It was 4 times greater. Go ahead.
Than for African American women.
So you had men that were killing themselves 4 times more than women. Because sisters don't get it. You got some brothers who can't handle the pressure that comes from living in hell, because we are in hell.
Right.
We are in hell. I know brothers who killed themselves because they was on child support and couldn't get a job. I am not lying to you. Brother got tired of getting locked up. I think he went to jail every year. First they gave him 3 months, then they gave him 6 months, and then he just got tired of being stressed. He couldn't pay for it, couldn't see his child, he was poor. Got tired of it, and then just killed himself. Over child support? Come on, man. We in hell, man. This is why it's important for us to uplift each other. And there is a church on every street corner. Rather than have your doors open 24 days, rather than have your doors open 7 days a week, 24 hours, man, have your number on there. If you need help or counseling, call this number. Rather than do that, man, you shut your doors, man, and just open it up on Sunday. Pastor won't even give his number to everybody. Well, I don't give my number to everybody. Well, you're supposed to be the one that's supposed to be lifting the people up. They need to call somebody. That's why the ISUPK underneath Commander General Yohana, man, is so important, man.
Right.
The structure that we have, man. The structure that we have, the leadership that we have, and the rank that we have, man, and how it's sent down through a chain of commandment, it is very important, man. Because in here, you have somebody you can call. You can call somebody. I'm talking about, we don't care what time it is. You don't think brothers' phones in here ring at all type of times in the morning? It could be 3 o'clock in the morning. You might have just laid down at 11 o'clock. You got to go to work in the morning. Their phone get to ringing, bring. Hey, I'm sure Brother this is Priest and Officer so-and-so. ISUPK, what's going on? Hey, man, I'm just calling, man. I'm going through. You don't think we don't have to get up out of our beds at all type of times in the morning to go check on brothers, to check on sisters, to drive out of town, to drive out of state? You don't think we had to do that? Oh, y'all don't take it serious. Y'all don't take us serious because we ain't in a suit and a tie.
Right.
Because we ain't in your political fields. Y'all don't take us serious. We the ones that are on the front line here in the ISUPK, man. Who do you think people from the ghetto gonna talk to? You think they gonna talk to a pastor in a suit? Or they gonna talk to their brother with them beards and boots on, man? Who reminds them of themselves. Hey, what's going on, brother, man? I see what y'all doing. I just need somebody to talk to. You don't think we have brothers to cry to us, sisters, to cry to us, man, about their situation that they're going through? We provide them the solution to their problems. We tell them to come inside, hey, get counsel. We tell people these things. We can't force nobody to do anything at all, but we provide the help that our people need, man.
Right.
We uplift our people, man. We give the counseling that our people need to help them out of their situations, man. We encourage our people daily. You have a number of a priest and prophet in the ISUPK, call that number anytime you get a chance. Call that number. Take the counsel that they give you. Take the checking that they give you.
Right.
Do it. But it's going to change your life. You can read the rest of 3 and 13, Doc. Well, Salaki, my bad. You go to read the rest of it, cause.
Okay. Come. Black females grades 9 to 12 were 60% more likely to attempt suicide in 2019.
That's about these babies, man. From grades 9 through 12. to commit suicide. Why? Why do you think they commit suicide? It's no brotherhood and sisterhood inside of our high schools, man. It's no brotherhood and sisterhood inside the young community because nobody's teaching them. When you 15, look, when we turned 15, none of us inside no damn churches.
No.
Majority of us were in the streets. The church was too soft. Why do you think what they say now? Oh, these young boys, they doing all the shooting and the killing. Nobody wants to be in that homosexual church. Who do you got on the pulpit?
Right.
Who do you got in the choir?
Right.
You want these young soldiers, because that's what these young men are. They are soldiers. They are warriors. You want these young boys to come inside the church and see some to see some homosexual bend his wrist and clap,
Right.
to dance, twirl around the stage with the women. You want your sons to be exposed to that? They'd rather go in the streets and lose their life rather than go inside your church. And you Christian pastors, you are disgusting. I pray it's a pastor watching right now. You are a filthy, disgusting bastard.
Right.
Because you run these young warriors outside of these churches.
Right.
And when they do try to come in, what do you do to them? You criticize them, talk about them, and try to molest them. Just like Pastor Eddie down there in Atlanta. I don't like saying his last name, Pauls. Very disgusting to say his last name.
Eddie Pauls.
Eddie Pauls. That's right, Shayala. That's his new name. Shayala. We gave Pastor Eddie Pauls a new name. His new name is Eddie Pauls. Truly a disgusting bastard, man. Running our young men and young women outside of the churches. And not really so much running the young women out of the churches, running the young men out and bringing the young women in. Imagine a young girl, like I posted, I don't know how true this is, but I did post an article where these two young sisters say they got molested by a pastor. And both of them, guess how old they were? I think they was 14 and 16.
Right.
Between that same age limit of 9th grade and 12th grade. Got molested by the pastor. And finally somebody believed them and they locked the pastor up. But guess what it does to them? You don't think they want to kill themselves? Having to remember what this bastard did to them, this old bastard on top of them, having sex with them, touching on them. Think about that, man, what it does to a sister or to a brother. Having to remember some sick, disgusting, grown bastard trying to take what is precious to you, man. Trying to take that from you. You don't think that makes suicide? You don't think nobody wants to kill themselves? You got to shout out.
Even down to the same one that's supposed to save them, supposed to help them. Like, where they supposed to go then? Because there's a lot of people out here don't have families and don't have friends. But when you go to the church, you'll think is on some. He's gonna help me. He's gonna save me. He's gonna get me on the right track. But the same one you feel like you got last hope into, take all your hope from you. What do you do then?
Suicide. Suicide.
Nasty.
Right.
That's all you got left. What you gonna do? One or two things: drugs or suicide.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad, man. This is a serious topic, man. It's very serious. It's very serious, man. It's like Shayala said, the same person you expect to save you, he hurts you and damages you. What do you got now?
Right.
You already know you can't go to mama. Mama, the pastor raped me. Don't you lie on a man of God like that. You been a hoe. I caught you having sex in your room.
Mm.
Now nobody believes him. Guess what she does? Let me just try to kill myself. I'm pretty sure everybody in high school got to witness somebody in their high school try to kill themselves. Or you might have heard about it.
Mm.
The sister taking the mama pills, taking the grandma pills, taking the NyQuil, drinking half the bottle. We don't seen that. We don't heard of that. And then you have a lot of our people who don't want to fight the demons. A lot of our people embrace the demon. Rather than fight it, it's like, you know what? I'm going to embrace this demon.
Right.
I'm going to live with this demon. And the demon wants to kill you. That's his job, to kill you.
Right.
But a lot of this right here is to blame on our Christian pastors. You can read the rest of that, Kaz, if there's anything that's on it.
Oh my God. Okay. were 60% more likely to attempt suicide in 2019 as compared to non-Hispanic white females of the same age.
And compared to who?
Non-Hispanic white females.
What females?
Right.
What females?
Non-Hispanic white females.
White females. Non-Hispanic white females. And they said it's what, 60%?
Kind of a con.
60%? 60% of black women in high school from the grades 9 through 12 were 60% more likely to commit suicide than their non-counterparts of non-Hispanic white women. You think white girls killing themselves? They on the cheerleading team. My red tells me all the time, she's like, yeah, when I went to high school, that's all I went to high school. It was white girls. They had the cars, they had the nice houses. Their parents wanted to invite me over. Yeah, they want to invite you over. They want to show you what the good life is like. You got to show them.
And it's like again, sir. And even when it comes to those oppressive daughters, they were the biggest whores, the biggest drug addicts, the biggest whatever you want to call it. Meanwhile, all we were trying to do is just get through that slight trauma we went through, 15 minutes, 1 year, whatever the case may be. But they were able to get past whatever they had going on and just been a drug addict, a whore, and etc.
Right.
As long as she don't get pregnant by a nigga, slugging by a Negro, the parents don't really trip too much. They go, oh, she's just young. She's just going through a young phase. She can go smoke weed, come in the house, take a shower, and go to sleep. Parents won't say nothing. As long as she's on their cheerleading team, she's doing all these different things, they're not going to trip. Maria told me how she's hanging around the year. And I think that's what made me love my rib a lot, because she was very different.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She was meant to come into this truth, and she's in this now. But even she told me like how hanging with these oppressor girls, how their family had so much, and when she would go back home, they had nothing.
Right.
Like they had nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's no different now, man. Why do you think? What's that movie called? Sideline, where the big Judite brother was in there. With the big Judite brother in there, Sandra Bullock, with the muscle face, she was in there. You got it.
The Blind Side.
Blind Side, that's it.
Oh, God.
Right.
You see how they took that brother. This brother lived in the ghetto.
Right.
Poor. Nothing.
Out the laundromat.
At the laundromat. And just because he was big and strong, what did Sandra Bullock do? She took the opportunity to take him and mold him to something that they wanted to be like. She molded him so much. He went to the same school that they told him to go. He went to Southern Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Why did he go to Southern Miss? He didn't go because he wanted to, because they wanted him to go. Like they took him and molded him, and they took an opportunity to take advantage of him being poor. And the only reason he's in that situation is because of her family. It's because of her forefathers and her foremothers. And they took advantage of it, and they used it. Like they do all of us. Like if that brother went and got with that devil, he probably would have killed himself. Because it's the easy way out. He's like, well, if I do this, I ain't got to deal with it no more. If I kill myself, I ain't got to go through no problems. You know how many times we don't hear people say that? If I kill myself, I ain't just got to go through these problems no more.
Right.
It ain't easy. It might seem like the easy way out. When you kill yourself, guess what? Everybody left with the problems now. Somebody got to marry you. Somebody got to take care of your kids. Somebody got to do this and got to do that. But the only reason we go through this is because a lot of our people suffer from mental health issues.
Right.
And nobody's there to help them with it. But here in the ISUPK, whatever city, state, town you are in, get that number from that camp leader. And if you're dealing with any type of problems, call that number and get counsel. And take the counsel.
Right.
You can listen to what we got to say, but if you don't take the counsel, you never going to fix the problem. You go to the college, you can read the rest of that out.
It's nice.
Okay, go ahead.
Locked up.
Oh, shoot.
No.
4471.
I ain't gonna remember.
Remember, when you read that camp, you need
Facts.
trust me.
Alright. Poverty level affects mental health status.
Read that again.
Poverty level affects mental health status.
Read that loud so they can hear this.
Count on my count. Poverty level affects mental health status.
Poverty level affects mental health status.
All right.
So being poor affects your mental health status. Who do you think is poor in America? Anybody can answer that question. Who do you think is poor in this economy, man? Who's poor? Read that again, Kaka. That just read that again.
Gun. Poverty level affects mental health status.
Good night. So being poor affects your mental health status. So coming home from high school and not having food in your house, it affects your mental health status. Coming home and not having a decent pair of shoes to put on your feet so you don't get picked on affects your mental health status. Coming home and your lights turned off in your house, come on now, who ain't went through that before? Come home, your lights turned off, the water turned off, you gotta go down the street to your neighbor house to get water in a goddamn bucket,
Right.
just so you can have something to drink. Go ahead.
We done went through the struggle to where our hot water went out. We had to put it in the bowl and heat it in the microwave.
Say that. What? Come on, huh? You ain't an Israelite if you ain't went through that. I'm talking about your water heater go out. You got the hot pot on the stove with the boil, and then it's the sad thing about it. You ain't even got a big pot.
Right.
You got a small pot. You gonna. Well, you gonna have to wait 20 minutes to take that bath, brother.
Right.
But one thing we didn't do like Esau and everybody take a bath in the same water.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
Esau shit right there. Slacker.
Disgusting.
That's where that phrase come from. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Yeah, they used to do that. They put the damn baby be dead in the damn water. They pour it out, the baby come out there. Freaking idiots. I didn't know that until the devil told me. He was like, yeah, you know where that phrase come from. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I said, yeah, I always wonder what that means. He said, yeah, in England, he said when they took the baths, he said a lot of times they had a baby in the bathtub and forget. So how the hell you forget the baby in the damn dirty ass? He said the water would be so dark because the dad would take the bath first, then the wife, then the kids, and the baby just being there floating around somewhere. Pour the water out there, baby get pulled out with it. You might baby and then drown. Filth. Yikes. You can go ahead, Kyle. You can read the rest of that.
Black or African Americans living below the poverty level as compared to those over twice the poverty level are twice likely to report serious psychological distress.
Damn right. So, our people who are poor, we are the ones who have the psychological distress, man. We are the ones who are stressed out. No child should be worried about what they're going to eat.
Right.
No child, man. But Esau is starved us out so bad. This is why we say the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of, man.
Right.
This is why we say that, man. They have destroyed us so bad in this land and in this captivity and in this earth that us being poor not only affects the parents, but it affects the kids as well, man. The mom and daddy stressing, then the damn kids start to stress. Imagine if your child does commit suicide because they're stressed because they're poor. They're getting picked on. Like, what does that do to the parent? How does that make them feel? Like, I'm such a failure that my child committed suicide. What does that do to them emotionally? Make them want to commit suicide. What's the brother mother's name? What's the brother name they got? Eric Garner. Was it Eric? No, not Eric Garner. But the brother from Baltimore. I can't believe I forgot his name. Freddie Gray. Freddie Gray, the brother from Baltimore. The police broke his spine and still threw him in the back of the police paddy wagon. They broke his spine and still threw him in the paddy wagon with the handcuffs on behind his back. Like, imagine, like, I don't even want nobody to imagine, but his spine, what keeps his back straight, was broke, and they still threw him in the paddy wagon. He was in so much pain that he died.
Oh man.
He died. That is horrible. His mother was in so much pain that she tried to commit suicide. They gave her $6 million. The money didn't mean nothing to her because her son was gone.
Right.
And the best way she feel like she can get out of the situation is by just killing herself. Because every day she had to wake up and realize, my son is gone. My son died a horrible way. You got to shout out.
And that's a prime example that money does not mean a damn thing.
Yeah, I'm right. Get that brother a hand, man. Money does not buy happiness, man. You might have a good time, but it's not going to fix the problem. We got rich black, Hispanics, and Native Indians all among us. But it hasn't helped our situation.
Right.
It hasn't helped our problem. It hasn't fixed anything. It hasn't fixed our community. Anything else on the cost?
We got last one. A report from the U.S. Surgeon General found that from 1980 to 1995, the suicide rate among African Americans ages 10 to 14 increased 233%.
Good night. It increased how much?
233%.
And you think about what happened in the 80s.
Yeah.
1980 to 1995, what was flourishing in the black community? You gotta shout out.
Crack cocaine.
Crack cocaine, and it was something else.
Was it abortion?
That too, but it was something else. It was something else. What flourished between the 80s and the 90s in the black community? And it came dealing with drugs. Drugs came, and guess what else came with it? Because you had mothers who were doing whatever for the drugs.
It was murder, death.
That too, but it was something else. You gotta think about it. Think about what hit the black community hard in the 80s and 90s besides crack. Yeah, I'll let y'all, I want to see y'all wondering and think about this. Somebody got the Jeopardy theme music. Hey, this right here, when I tell you what it is, you be like, damn. We got any comments? We got any comments in this section?
Brother Corn, he said AIDS, HIV,
That's
claps.
That's exactly what it
That's
was.
right.
It's like,
It was, go ahead.
he said that clapper.
Yikes.
Right.
Ran away from the claps. But that's exactly what it was. It was crack, cocaine, it was crack, and then HIV.
Dang.
And like you said, between the ages of what, 10 to 14, what the hell is a 10-year-old stressing about?
Right.
You know what he's stressing about? Between the 1980s to 1995? His mother being on crack. His mother having AIDS, or his father on crack. His father having AIDS. Like, AIDS and crack destroyed the black community between that time. And where were your Christian pastors at during that? Doors wide open. What you think Eddie Pauls died from? They said Eddie, I forgot what they said Eddie Pauls died from.
I think it was AIDS or HIV.
That's what he died from. But they not gonna tell nobody that. That boy shriveled up. You gotta remember, he was in Atlanta.
Dang.
And he liked the boys.
Wow.
Right.
And guess what's flourishing in Atlanta right now?
Mm-hmm.
Do I need to tell you?
It's disgusting.
And all of a sudden, out the blue, he went from being cock diesel to turning into a raisin.
Eddie Smalls.
Another name.
He said, shout you out, he said Eddie Smalls. That's what he turned into. That's what he turned into, Eddie Smalls. I can say that. I'm fine with that. I say that, Eddie Smalls. Come on, man. Anything else on that, brother? You got a cause?
One more sentence.
Come on, you got it.
As compared to 120% of non-Hispanic whites.
Right. And this 242 that they had, this was amongst blacks and Latinos.
That's crazy.
Like, think about now. Think about what the Latino brothers had to go through, and the Latino sisters, the so-called 10 tribes. Think about what they had to go through when Donald Trump was president. We all caught the short end of the stick.
Right.
Go back to Mexico, build a wall. I remember the brother, me and this brother, we still tight to this day. It's the correct brother. We tight. That's my dog. That's my brother. I still go visit him every Sunday just about when I get a chance. And he always tell me, he was like, man, when Trump was in the chair, he said, man, I just seen the flag, and the only thing I heard was go back to Mexico, build a wall. He said, but now Trump's not in there, they want to be my friend. I said, you gonna be their friend? He said, well, it's like, he's like, F that. They ain't my friends.
Right.
He was like, come on, man. He said, you know what it is. But he got a little bit of, he know who he is because the Most High allowed him to learn out who he is. But it's just so important, man. Like,
Right.
you think about everything we went through. It wasn't just Judah going through the same thing. It was the whole nation of Israel going through the same thing. We were all suffering from this racism and suicide rates, man. You don't think they don't never like to consider us all together because the suicide rate was high amongst the Latino tribes as well too, man.
Right.
Especially when you go down into Mexico, a lot of our people killing themselves down there, man. They're looking for an easy way out because it's hard to live in this hell. When you got a sick bastard like the devils that are amongst us right now, it's hard to live. Even here being in America, America full of opportunity. Imagine you working a job hard. You making money, everything, but all your money goes to paying bills.
Right.
You ain't got nothing left. You can't even take your kids to go to Chuck E. Cheese. You can't even take your kids to go watch a movie because you got to save everything. The stress. The things that America do. America makes your women turn on you. You working hard at your job and the woman that you lay in the bed with has turned her back on you because this oppressor has told her that you don't need a man. Some brothers will turn around and beat on their women, which is not right.
Right.
And then you got some brothers who are just like, you know what, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to just leave. And then you got some brothers who will just pick up the gun and blow their brain out. It's the easy way. I ain't got to deal with it no more.
Right.
My kids will get a check. I had a brother. Listen, man. We are in hell. I don't heard brothers say that before. Hell, if I'm dead, my kids will get a check every month. Come on, man. You don't think that's some type of mental health issue?
Right.
You don't think nothing's wrong with that? You disgusting, filthy Christian pastor don't think there's nothing wrong to hear brothers say, if I'm dead, my kids will get a check every month. Like, I have heard brothers say this before, man. Coming from the ghetto that I come from. I've heard brothers say, shit, if I'm dead, my kids will get a check every month. And they considered suicide the best thing for them. Come on, man. If you could you give me Romans 15:1?
Okay.
We gotta uplift each other heavily, man. We have to be together and stay strong in these last days, man. Suicide is heavy amongst the Black, Latino, Native Indian community. Whatever you is,
Romans 15:1. We then that are strong,
when we what?
we then that are strong,
We then that are strong, go ahead.
ought to bear the infirmities of the weak.
Us that are strong, brothers here in the ISUPK, man, these officers, the generals, the captains and the officers, we are strong, man.
Right.
With us being strong, guess what we do? We bear the infirmities, man. Meaning we carry the physical and mental weakness of our people. Go ahead.
And not to please ourselves.
Read that again, Salaki.
Romans 15:1. When then that that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak,
Of the what?
of the weak,
Of the what?
of the weak.
We that are strong ought to carry the weight of those of our people who have a physical or mental weakness, man. That's what your pastor's supposed to be doing. He's supposed to bear the infirmities of our people, man, of the weak. You know how many people come inside of those churches, man, who are mentally and physically weak? He go in there and put water on your head. She healed. She's still sick. They slam dunk you in some water, saying you baptized, and guess what? The brother's still a homosexual.
Dang.
The sister's still a homosexual. They still battle that mental issue that they're going through, that demon. Well, I got him baptized. I don't know why he's still acting the same way.
Right.
Because your Christian pastors, they don't bear the infirmities of our people, man. They don't do it. They don't do it at all. They don't try to carry the weight of our people, man, who have infirmities, man. Here in the ISUPK, we do it. It might get tough, but do your damn job.
Right.
Do
Right.
it. And be proud to do it, because there's a sick, disgusting pastor or political leader of our people who won't do it. So you do it.
Right.
And be proud to do it. Be glad to do it. Deal with the stress. Deal with your phone ringing at all type of nights. Deal with people always want to talk to you about their problems. Deal with it. Because it's an honor to be able to do it, man. You can read that from the top out.
Romans 15:1. We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak, and not to please ourselves.
Not to what?
Please ourselves.
Not to please ourselves. What you think Pastor doing in the church? You think he pleasing the people? Pastor pleasing himself. What do you think that nice gold Porsche Panamera is about? Is that pleasing the people? Or is he pleasing himself? You think Pastor pleasing the people with his gold Porsche Panamera? You think he can fit the congregation in that gold Porsche Panamera? Or you think he can fit his wife and him in there?
Right.
You think that tithe money they get, which they don't spend on the people, we gotta keep the church up. We gotta get a new roof. He gonna get a new roof on the building because it's gonna bring more people in.
Right.
He gonna get more nicer flowers because your grandma gonna be like, baby, you gotta come to this church. It is beautiful in there. You gonna come in there just stupid as you can be. You're gonna get a lot of you sisters, oh, this church is beautiful. I'm going here from now on. Oh, come on in. Make sure you get them tithes. 10%. Imagine 10% for 30,000 people, man. Come on, man.
Oh, I don't know.
You got it.
It's crazy. They say 10%, but as much as they ask for, you turn around and be giving 60% by the end of service.
They make sure they pass that collection plate around 3 times. Like if I was smart, I would have yelled, hey man, I thought it was 10%. They probably threw my ass out of church slightly. Oh, this nigga Brady right here, throw him out. Throw him out. Get him by his hands and grab him by his feet, throw him out. Come on, man. Read that again from the top up. Salati. You go ahead, huh?
Romans 15:1. We then that are strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak, and not to please ourselves. Continue.
Yeah, go to 2 Salati. You go ahead.
Verse 2. Let every one of us please his neighbor.
Let us please our neighbors. Let us satisfy our neighbors. Go ahead.
For his good is edification.
For his what?
Good is edification.
It ain't money. For his good is edification. Instructions. That's how you do good to your people, by giving them instructions. Where do the instructions come from? The law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High.
Right.
Give them the instructions they need on making their life better, man. That's what you're supposed to do. Give your people the instructions. Why do you think that we always out there, you got to keep the law, statutes? You hear it so much out of our mouth, you get tired of it. You got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. You got to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Oh, yeah, I just believe in that Bible and those scriptures. Because this is instructions. These are the instructions you need. You know what I'm saying? Because they are good. It's going to help your life.
Right.
Imagine if you told men not to be homosexuals and they actually listen.
Right.
We wouldn't have HIV commercials.
Man.
Imagine if you told people that, hey, look, brother, a man can't sleep with a man. We wouldn't have HIV commercials where black men are the face. A black homosexual man wouldn't be the face of HIV.
Man, right.
I don't know if anybody's seen it, but it's a commercial where it's a brother, it's a Judite brother. You seen it with the dreads?
Come on.
He's smiling. He's smiling. I was in the hospital watching the video. I was just like,
Man.
Yeah.
Me and Shawty
Yeah.
seen it the other day. It was a woman.
it was a woman. Was she a lesbian?
I don't know. She was just on the HIV commercial.
But she was black though.
Come.
Yeah, that's who the face of it is.
Yeah.
Our people. And then they get you in and make you smile. Like, they would never put their own people inside these commercials.
Right.
They wouldn't. And if they do, they might have one. But with ours, it's 2, 3, 4. Like, they had the black homosexual brother. He was smiling. They was giving him a reward. I was like, listen, tell people the truth. This man has AIDS. That reward don't mean nothing. He got AIDS. His immune system is going to shut down one day. And he's going to suffer. I'll never forget my cousin called us crying. Because a friend of hers, she knew he was a male. He caught HIV. I went to school with the brother. And of course you could tell he was very effeminate. I didn't know why. But now I think about it, somebody had to have touched him. But he was effeminate since we was in high school. And he ended up being a homosexual. And he caught AIDS, and he never said anything about it. He caught the virus, and it was so bad that he lost his sight. It was in the hospital, couldn't move. They just knew he was going to die. But he lived. And he lived, he didn't change his life. He went to Florida and was down there having sex with random men. You got the shot, huh?
The brother Quan said they having them kiss on each other, saying take this pill and you won't spread it.
Get that brother here.
Right.
And they do that. They do that in the commercials. And it persuades people to be like, you know what? If these two homosexuals kissed each other with AIDS, I can kiss somebody with AIDS.
Man, that is right.
This is
Right in the commercial. Like, it's advertisement. Guess what? When they want you to buy some new shoes or new clothes, what do? They put it in a commercial. When they want you to buy the new soda, you sitting there chilling, oh man, that soda look good. I'm gonna go buy that soda. They advertise it. When they want a homosexual men to be comfortable with being a homosexual, they make a commercial. That ain't uplifting our people, that's destroying our people. That's why we say the oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Right.
He's figured out a way. Yeah, right. He's figured out a way on how to destroy our people and make us feel like we're uplifting each other at the same time. Like when Barack Obama made homosexuality legal, we thought it was something to uplift us. We thought it was a great thing. But then you look now, look at how it's destroyed. Everybody complaining about Lil Nas X and this and that. But ain't nobody saying nothing about that 6'7" Tyler Perry.
right.
Dang.
Tyler Perry making a movie right now where in the movie it says, the queen is back and it's Medea. Which is Tyler Perry. Which is a man. 6'5" man who said the queen is back. And it's him in a damn dress with fake breasts in the wig. And then he got one scene in the movie, my ribs like, you gotta see this filthy, disgusting thing. And I watched it, and it was Tyler Perry as Medea talking about acting like Medea, and they was showing the scene in the movie. I was just like, and then it went to a scene where he was supposed to be a young lady, and he went as far as to put on a black type dress. I was like, well, this boy gay.
Man.
Black tight. Oh my God.
Like, this boy is gay. Like, y'all women gotta realize something. This stuff isn't beneficial to your people. It's helping to destroy us, man. Nah, you pump it at that time. This place is disgusting, man. If we could, we can go ahead and go to verse 3 on there, Shiloh, if you could, huh?
Come, sir.
You can start from 2 and go to 3.
Come. Romans 15 and 2. Let everyone of us please his neighbor, for his good to edification.
Verse 3.
Verse 3. For even Christ pleased not himself.
For what?
For even Christ pleased not himself.
Christ didn't please himself like your pastors do. Your pastors please themselves. And they do it good. That private jet, that's them pleasing themselves. Why do you think Christ came in riding on the donkey?
Shit.
He wanted people to know, listen, I'm just like you.
Right.
I can have the riches. I can have the money. I can have the fame. But guess what? I'm just like you. Because even Christ pleased not himself. He didn't please himself. Look, how is that going to help anybody if I get the money and go buy me a gold donkey?
Right.
Or I go buy the biggest horse. I get the nice mansion. That ain't helping nobody. And this is why it's so disgusting with your pastors. Your pastors won't read scriptures like this. Because then they contradict everything that they're saying. Because now they got to wake up and realize, like, damn, Christ didn't please himself. But maybe I shouldn't please myself. Yeah, maybe you should give that money to Commander General Yohana. And we wonder why Commander General Yohana hasn't took the money and bought a Rolls Royce with it.
Right.
He hasn't bought a private jet with it. Because we have a real leader. And rather than please himself, he'd rather please the poor of Israel.
Right.
He'd rather make food programs so brothers and sisters can eat. He'd rather have pamper and diaper giveaways where he gives stuff to the community. He'd rather have prison programs. That's what he would rather do rather than please himself. Your pastor? Alright.
Man,
We're going to see who he going to please.
that's deep.
Hmm?
That's it. Oh,
You got it, guys.
I select it. But that's crazy how the Most High had Yahweh to be born like that, simply to show, all the other kings before,
Right.
they were rich,
Right?
but they was in the same bloodline. But he was born just like us in the hood and us in the ghettos and stuff, just to be like everybody, those people that come out that lower state, to show them how to be righteous.
That's how you build a nation of people.
Right.
That's how you build your people. Give a cause a hand because he's right. Damn right. That is heavy that you said that. Because, like Christ even said, he said, I didn't take the likeness on of the angels, but to be born like y'all. I'm just paraphrasing. Like they come from the ghetto to be poor.
Right.
So people who are poor, who have nothing, can look at this brother and realize, damn, he did it. I can do it too.
Right.
And that's why the Most High is with the ISUPK. We not rich in here. We ain't got mansions. We ain't balling out of control. We're poor, man. We struggling. We trying to make it. But with us doing the things that we do, we can help the next brother who's struggling, who's poor, who don't have it all. We can make him realize that he is royalty, that she is royalty.
Right.
We can uplift our people. This is how you build a nation of people, man. It ain't about flossing off your private jet. It ain't about flossing off your gold Porsche Panamera, your Rolls Royce, your Lamborghini truck for your wife. It's about being just like your people, man. Your people out there poor, guess what? I'm poor too. And just like those dirty, disgusting Christian bastards who had a church back in the day I went to, rather than you go out to eat and make everybody else eat at the pantry, maybe you should have ate at the pantry too.
Right.
Right.
Maybe you should have went back there and got one of them pecan pies too. Maybe you should have got some of the bread, some of the eggs. Maybe you should have sat down and cooked the meal with the same food you got back there and showed everybody, and we all in this together.
Right.
Rather than take your filthy, stinking behind to the nice restaurant and eat the good food, while everybody else that is poor got to eat out your pantry.
Right.
Filthy, disgusting bastards, man. What time we on, Shayo?
56.
All right,
57.
Alright, let me get it. Let me get Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9 and 10. This is gonna be my last one. Ecclesiastes chapter 9. Oh, it's Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9 through 10. Select. This is a heavy scripture also, man. Well, we got to understand, as the nation of Israel, we're gonna have to get to a point. We're gonna have to all come back together, man.
Right.
We're gonna have to all come back together and join together as a nation of Israel. Even with you fake Israelite groups, you got brothers and sisters out here falling behind one brother or this one brother who might say something that they like and they follow behind him. But this is what they don't understand. You got people, oh, I ain't with the camp doctrine. That's cool. But this is what you don't understand. You can read it when you got it out.
Ecclesiastes 4 verse 9. Two are better than one.
What?
Two are better than one.
Two are better than one. Just because you listen to some fake Israelite channel and he makes you feel, oh, I ain't believing in the camp doctrine. This is not a camp doctrine. This is the truth.
Right.
Because you don't want to believe in the truth. You'd rather believe in the lie.
Right.
You'd rather be by yourself. But the scripture says what?
Two are better than one,
Go ahead.
because they have a good reward for their labor.
Yeah, right. And it's good for us to labor amongst each other like the scripture says. Because there is a reward for that. And General Yohana is the perfect example of that, man. General Yohana, when they left him by himself, he didn't try to keep the school. I'm going to just do this by myself. He went and got generals and captains and officers and built this school up, man. And because of that, look at the reward he has received for the labors, man. The
Right.
labor he has committed. This school in the ISUPK, man, it has grew tremendously, man. It has grew tremendously. And that's what General Yohana teaches us. That's why it's so important for us to have brotherhood and sisterhood amongst each other. Two are better than one, man. Go ahead.
For if they fall,
For if they what?
fall,
Go ahead.
the one will lift up his fellow.
Damn right. So if one of us fall, guess what? Somebody gonna be right there to pick us up, man. Somebody gonna be right there to pick us up. Come on, brother, get up. Let's keep going. Go ahead.
But woe to him that is alone.
But what?
Woe,
What?
woe
Woe means destruction. Destruction to what?
to him that is alone.
You go ahead, sister and brother, listen to that fake Israelite, that one that be behind the, and I know when he's based that right out of here. Every time he has a class, guess what? He's by himself. Shalom. And he's by himself. And guess what happened when he falls? It ain't gonna be nobody to uplift him. It's over with for that. And all you sisters listen to these stupid brothers who tell you these stupid things about your rock, your chakra, your vaccination. When they fall, guess what? There ain't gonna be nobody there with them. Anything else on that?
Okay.
Go ahead.
When he falleth, for he hath taken another to help him up.
We. That was it on it?
Okay.
Alright, what time we on?
911.
Alright. With that, I'm gonna close out the class. Alright. ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted on. They're here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 through 21. Malachi chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Y'all get that tax money, pay your tithes. Alright, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department of the teacher, or the priest fund. It's like to the treasury department of the teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. It'll be the feast. It'll be Purim. It'll be the 14th day of the 15th. It'll be the 14th day and the 15th day of the 12th month. It'll be Monday, February the 14th, and it'll be Tuesday, February the 15th. And it'll be February 2022, which is this month. You can read about this in the book of Esther, chapter 9, verse 20 through 31. Alright. Remind Eichmann Aqua to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a troop in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, scarf. With that, shalom.